My name's Clifford Lansberry. I'm one of the valuers here at Gorringe's, and one of the things I do here is valuing jewellery. Very much work alongside our jewellery specialist Roger Mead, who has the qualifications to assess the jewellery. Roger.
Yeah, I qualified in 2011 with a gemstone diploma from the National Association of Jewellers in London, and I've been cataloguing it ever since then.
Jewellery valuations are an interesting kettle of fish in many respects, insofar as if you walk into a jeweller and buy a diamond ring retail, most of them will write you an insurance certificate for slightly more than you've just paid. So that's your insurance replacement figure, and those insurance replacement figures are for you to go to a retail establishment and replace like for like. So very much, even in that level, different prices. The price of a brand new piece of Cartier jewellery will be significantly higher than what you're immediately going to be able to sell it for, and this starts to affect values at auction, of course. It's not dissimilar from buying a new car. As soon as you drive it off the forecourt, the price is not what you've just paid. But with jewellery, the jump in value is quite significant. When you're buying a retail piece of jewellery, you're paying for the ingredients, the gold, the silver, the diamonds, whatever the gemstones are. Then you're paying for the cost of the man to make it. Then you're paying for the retailer to rent a premises, fit it out, pay for staff, insure it, market it, and those costs all factor in. It's generally held that the difference between auction sale and retail price is 3 to 4 times in value. So a £1,000 diamond ring at auction is probably a £4,000 to £5,000 ring retail. So, in theory, that means buying at auction is much better value, because effectively you're paying a wholesale price. You're paying for what the item is. You're not paying for all those other costs, the insurance, the marketing, etc. So, buying at auction, good idea. Selling at auction, equally great idea. Lots of competition for most things, and you're opening up the item to a whole world of different bidders, from dealers through to private buyers and collectors.
Okay, what I tend to look for in a piece of jewellery is first the quality, how well it's made, and obviously what it's actually made from, whether it's platinum, whether it's gold or silver, because some of the earlier pieces I had a combination of gold and silver. I also look for the quality of the stones, of course, and how big they are and what kind of stone it is, because some of these stones can actually lead you to what sort of period the piece of jewellery was made. So when it comes to the size of the stone, particularly diamonds, the bigger the better, and also the colour and the clarity, and the cut less so, because that tends to be up to people's individual taste. But with the colour and the clarity, it's very much the better the colour, the better the clarity, and the bigger the stone, the rarer it is, and that will command the higher price. Periods that tend to be most popular, not just with me but also with the buying public and the trade, tend to be the period anywhere sort of Georgian, which would have been anything 1800, right through to about 1950 these days. But I think the golden period from my point of view, and also from a selling point of view, tends to be sort of about 1880 right through to the Art Deco period, about 1930, when you really did get some fine quality pieces made. It always shows that in the results at auction, because they're the pieces that people chase after the most. The more modern jewellery, dating from the sort of 80s onwards, is quite hard to sell at auction. It will sell, but the amount of money I like to realise is quite low in relation to some of the period pieces. And the other factor is, of course, the condition of the piece. If there's any kind of damage to the stones or the setting, or there looks as though there may have been an alteration or an addition later on, that will affect the value also as well. What we have found in recent years particularly was the sudden demand for a certain type of amber, which they refer to as either egg yolk or the Baltic amber, and this has been very much driven by the Chinese and Middle Eastern market as a fashion statement. And whereas many years ago amber necklaces such as this were worth about 50 to 70 pounds, we've now suddenly found that this particular type commands a much higher price. The largest amount we actually achieved for an amber necklace was £16,500. It was quite a big necklace, but I worked out at the time that it was actually 4 times more valuable than pure gold per gram, which is quite something. We don't know how long obviously this is going to last. It has been seen less in recent months, but whenever we do get this particular type of amber, it still seems to command a good price. If anybody was going to start collecting jewellery, I would certainly recommend the first thing is to buy quality, because you cannot lose if you buy quality, and get advice from people like myself and from Clifford and other auctioneers who will be in the best position to advise the way forward.
If you are considering having an item valued for sale at auction, whether it's one item or a whole collection of jewellery, then please do get in touch with us. Roger's here most days and can advise you thoroughly on what you've got and how the market views it, and I'm also available for valuations. It's best to call first, but it's well worthwhile getting an opinion from us and seeing where we can go from there.